This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.
Joyful Life Hypnotherapy. We are back with our amazing soul proprietor, soul practitioner, Rosemary Powell, her name is. If you haven't heard of her, well, you're in for a treat today because we're really going to talk about the type of things that she does to help you. Yeah, we're talking about you out there. Relieve all these unwanted emotions, right? We want your life to be filled with joy and happiness, and there's a lot that goes into that. So, what she does at Joyful Life Hypnotherapy really is pretty amazing, the work she could do here with us virtually or in person. So, welcome back today. How are you?
Thank you. Good morning. I'm great. Thank you so much for having me.
Well, thank you for being here. And for those that may not know, who may have missed our, other shows, let's just tell them a little bit about what you do. And of course, the power of hypnotherapy and NLP and all that you provide before we kind of hone in on today.
When I was 41, which was over 30 years ago, I was in
Can't
need for some
believe that.
help myself. And I was looking around and saw several counselors. I wasn't getting the relief I needed and felt there must be something more. And that's when I found hypnotherapy. So that was back in 1991.
Wow.
And with the tools that my therapist taught me, I got better, felt better with every session. And my childhood trauma was great,
Ah,
not minimizing it. And the relationship issues were severe, and I didn't really realize how sick they were. So with that healing, I began sharing the tools of hypnotherapy in my nursing practice with
wow.
relaxation, breathing, guided imagery, all kinds of things. And so now I'm a full-time hypnotherapist and just was rated #1 in Tehachapi in mental health care. So I'm so grateful for the success I've had very rapidly. And you know what? It's because, Jill, it's my life's purpose. It's because I love doing this. I'm paying it forward, what saved my life.
God bless you. Thank you so much. And we appreciate the work that you're doing. Congratulations on this. And wow, overall, I mean, clearly you are, love what you do. You're great at what you do to be honored like this. And we're also going to talk about some more success stories, which we did last time as well. But it's pretty amazing all that you can help people with. And people may not even know all the ways they can help improve their life with, you working with them, doing hypnotherapy. So again, congratulations on that. That's really exciting that you've been selected as the #1 top mental health provider. And by the way, for those who don't know where how do I even pronounce it? Tapachi is. That's in
Tehachapi.
California, right?
Yes, it is.
Where
It's a little
specifically?
mountain. It's a historic railroad town in the
Yeah.
mountains in California, a couple hours north of Los Angeles.
Beautiful. Well, congratulations on that. And also for today, I know we're going to dive into, I mean, you're helping men, women, children, of course, really discover so much. We're going to start with anxiety today, right? Because that's one of the biggest things that we hear about. And I feel like everyone's anxious, especially since the pandemic. Everyone deals with this anxiety. And I feel like it was never talked about so much, but it is. And it's a real thing. Could you share what anxiety even is? And then let's break down the type of, services that you can do with hypnotherapy and how it works to help relieve some of that anxiety.
Thank you, Jill. Yes. Do you know, anxiety is the #1 thing people seek out hypnotherapy for. And it's when our nervous system has had experiences, one or many, and we are stuck in the fight, flight, freeze, fawn, and fatigue part of our autonomic nervous system. And our nervous system is all managed by our subconscious mind.
Wow.
So that's where we can really get the healing, is as with the hypnotic trance. And many times people seek pharmaceuticals,
Yeah.
but pharmaceuticals, they don't clear the cause.
Yeah.
And the thing I love about hypnotherapy is it clears the cause. And I use a combination of hypnotherapy, neurolinguistic programming,
Mm-hmm.
emotional freedom techniques, and other processes to help a person change their nervous system and bring it back over to the peaceful nervous system, which is the parasympathetic, for those who remember their anatomy and physiology. So, and the effects are profound and rapid. I've had people after their first session, as they begin to come out of that relaxed state of mind, they're not unconscious, they're not asleep, it's not mind control, but a
Okay.
relaxed state of mind, and say to me, I never thought I could feel so good.
Mm.
And that is just what happens even with the first session.
Yep.
And then I give my clients a recording of their hypnotherapy session so that they can listen to it. And then they begin to create new neural pathways, because when oftentimes in childhood or relationships, the neural pathways are as deep as the Grand Canyon, Jill. You can understand that.
Mm-hmm.
And so we need to create new neural pathways and dry up that old Grand Canyon. And so repetition is essential. With the recording, I say listen to the recording best twice a day, but at least once a day. So, and this helps with relationships, with mental focus, with GI problems,
Mm-hmm.
health problems, because when we're in that fight, flight, freeze response, our whole body is on alert and guard, and the adrenaline and the cortisol are all up. It makes us gain weight. So many, so many beautiful things happen when we are in the peaceful nervous system.
Wow. Wow. And for someone like, how does the sessions work? Break it down for us because it's scary. Some of us to go in to, what do we expect? And, I know you mentioned listening to it. How many times do we meet together? And could you just go over a little bit of that process?
Certainly. So another wonderful thing that I love about hypnotherapy is that it's such more rapid than the therapies that just deal with your conscious mind. So I invite my clients to fill out the intake form on my website,
Mm-hmm.
Joyful Life Hypnotherapy. And then first thing we do, and then I combine that
Okay.
by a program which gives us their sun, moon, astrological signs,
Okay.
characteristics, and challenges for that
Ooh.
sign. And also the numerology by taking their birth date and figuring their life path. So we start with that so that they can see all the strengths they do have that are inherent by their sun, moon, and life path. And then we also discuss what their challenges are. And I say, does this from the program I have, and share it with them, and I give them copies.
Of course.
Does this sound like you? And they go, totally sounds like me. So it's kind
Hmm.
of a way that we get acquainted rapidly, and I can see the ways in which to reach them most effectively. Because all of my sessions are totally individual, personally developed for each client. So first session, go over your astrology and numerology, and then we review your goals and the symptoms that you have. Some
Okay.
people come with just a symptom or two, anxiety, and they lose their temper easily. And some people come with, and they check every box. And the beautiful thing about hypnotherapy is we don't have to okay, today we're going to work on just this box. No, we can work on all of them. We can work on self-esteem as we work on anxiety, as we clear relieving past traumas, as we clear a belief and trust in yourself and in the future. It's beautiful. So, and then I explain using the model of the mind how hypnotherapy works so they understand why we're repeating your affirmations so many times, and why I want you to listen to the recording. So, if you were, 40 pounds overweight and you ate two salads, would you have lost enough weight for you? No.
No,
The
no.
same thing with to believe that I am good enough, I am worthwhile, I am important. We can't say it two or three times and come to believe it either. So
Yeah.
that's why we have repetition, just like eating healthily when we want to reduce weight.
Thank you
So,
for that.
and then we make a recording of that. If they're in my office, we make it on their phone and I show them how to use that app on their phone. If we do it virtually, we record virtually, just as you and I are right now.
Hmm.
And then I email it to them so that they can listen to their recordings.
Wow. I
And
love this.
it's wonderful. It's I want to give them the tools for self-care.
Wow.
And they have those forever.
Well, thank you. A lot of us don't know self-care. We lack self-care, and that's why part of you does what you do, right? Because we need to remember that and that how that can affect our body, and especially, I know a lot of people with young ones out there, including myself. When you become a parent, the first thing you do is you lose yourself, and you forget about that a lot of times, and it's really unfortunate. You have to do for you. You got to put that oxygen mask on first, right? That's what they say.
Oh, well said, Jill. Absolutely.
All right.
I do
So,
work with a lot of mothers
I'm
that
sure. Tell us.
feel overwhelmed. And a cute story, a young mother from Canada who I had years ago for a client, and I only saw her three times. She said she called and her problem was my kids are driving me nuts. And so we worked with some of this and how she wanted to feel around her children. And she learned self-hypnosis right away. She says, "Does it get so when I take three relaxing breaths, then I'm in hypnosis?" And I said, "Yes." And she learned that the first week from listening to her recordings. And then the second session, I said, "So how are you feeling about your kids?" "Oh, my kids? Oh, they're wonderful."
Oh, wow. This is,
Sometimes
yeah.
helping us shift the nervous system to the parasympathetic, the peaceful,
Hmm.
shifting some beliefs that
Yeah,
you're not good enough, or that your children are horrible, or that kids are a complete trial, they'll ruin your life. Let's change some of those beliefs. Let's change some of those beliefs and put those thoughts in your mind and control the negative self-talk that many of us carry around. And she was transformed as a much more loving mother, and she was so grateful.
amazing. Now, some of us, though, do have rooted problems that are from our past. Could you share a little bit about what we call that, what that is, and how do we know if we're suffering from something like this? Is it a past life trauma? And I know you do something called past life regression. So please elaborate on this because this is exciting work, Rosemary. I think a lot of people are affected by this and people don't really understand this.
Yes, sometimes some of our experiences in this life are carried over from previous incarnations. And I do have to tell you, Jill, 5 years ago, I was raised in a good Christian home, and I was taught that we have one life. You better be good, or you're going to go somewhere down under. And if you're really good, then you
Gotcha.
get to go to heaven. And that we had one life. But as I started to study past life regression, I and had experiences with my own past life regressions, I learned that before the onset of Christianity, the whole world knew that we had multiple incarnations and
Oh,
and expected it.
ooh,
And I can't quote them right now, but there's even them quotation in scriptures that say about when I was. And so we all have previous incarnations. Now, I've done small groups in people's homes, like 15 people, and we do a group past life regression session, and
okay.
each client goes into her own memory, but within our subconscious mind is stored all the memories of our soul.
Wow.
And they feel we have anywhere from 100 to thousands of past life experiences in our soul's journey. And I actually think if there is indeed a loving creator, a divine love, an unconditional love, that it wants our souls to have adequate experiences
Mm-hmm.
to grow to learn, to shine. And sometimes those experiences are trials.
Yeah.
And isn't one of my life purposes to have learned forgiveness for old traumas?
Yeah. Wow.
Oh, wow. But if I hadn't had the traumas, how could I have learned that?
Mm-hmm.
And someone else's experience, one of my clients, has cerebral palsy. And I added the perspective. I said, but if your soul has multiple incarnations, that means you probably are only going to have cerebral palsy in this incarnation. And immediately he relaxed and he could see a perspective that it just became smaller as you look at a life journey of a soul having multiple hundreds or thousands of incarnations. And he said, yeah, I don't think I did have cerebral palsy in other incarnations. And so then what is the purpose? What is the purpose of why you have this illness?
Yeah.
Then why do we have experiences and where can we rise like the phoenix out of whatever
I love
life
that you say that.
is dishing out to us? For we are just not survivors, we are thrivers. And
No.
hypnotherapy and neurolinguistic programming give a person the opportunity to rise out of that. So,
Wow.
oh,
Now,
I'd love to tell a fun story about, do we have a moment
yes,
of
please go, go. We love
of,
hearing
of,
stories. Go for it.
of past life regressions?
Yes.
So as I give more and more clients, I recommend that be one of their primary sessions, though not at the beginning. And one gentleman, he saw me and he said, you know, I always wondered why I was in banking. I just couldn't understand it. And he discussed what he'd studied before in college, though it had a financial background. And he says, and here I am doing this. And he says, and I always wondered why I love buying my wife beautiful things. And I
Hmm.
really do buy her more than she needs. And and so he came in for, I think it was his third session, and he chose a past life regression and went back in time. And he was a street urchin. His dad was an alcoholic, a street urchin on the
Okay.
streets of possibly London, somewhere in the
Wow.
British Isles. And he used to steal the fruit and bread on the stands and then run really fast. But there was a young girl that was also a street urchin from a very unsafe home. And he would always bring her food and things when he was pinching something, as they say in England. When he was pinching, he would pinch enough for her. And he says, I think that's where I became wanted to be an excellent provider and share things and give. And as it was, he did not marry her, but but that was one of his soul family in that lifetime. Many times there's lifetimes when a
Wow.
client in a regression, they have I say, is there anyone here you recognize? And some of them will say, well, my wife now, that's my wife here in this life too. So many times there are souls that we have many lives with. You might call them your soul family, and they go on journeys with you. So my ex-husband in this life, I saw him in another life, and he was a shopkeeper in a Western town, and we really didn't have that much relationship. But I go, oh, there he is. So just was kind of interesting. But my sons in this life have been my sons in other lives as well. And it's a beautiful thing to recognize someone when you're in trance and you're going through some of those experiences to see what you can learn from those regressions.
Wow. Thank you for sharing that. And, for someone out there who, how do you understand looking at someone like, say, we're here on a Zoom session, I'm here, hi. How do you tap into all this? I just, how does it work? I'm just curious by you looking at me. Can you go through my past? I mean, do you need a certain, I don't know how long it takes, but like, how do you feel that and know that? It's fascinating to me.
Oh, and th this is the beautiful part of it. First, I guide you into trance, but though I'm your guide, all hypnosis is self-hypnosis.
Okay.
So when our busy mind up here, that's all the chatter, the worry, the oh, I hope I forget, don't forget this, and don't forget, and I would have, should have done this. So
Hmm.
when we quiet all of those things,
Okay.
then our subconscious mind opens.
Yeah.
And I would then guide them, and then they would feel their feet touch the earth. When you feel your feet touch the earth, take in a nice deep breath, and
Okay.
I'll see them do it. So you actually report to me everything. I don't tell you about your past lives. You tell me, and I'll say, and what are you wearing? Oh, it seems to be skins of an animal. Oh, and what's on your feet? I have bare feet. My feet aren't cold.
Yeah.
Okay. And what continent are you located on? Because in many incarnations, we know what continent we're in.
Really.
And then tell me about what you see around you. Are there people there? And then what is the method of transportation? And sometimes the client will know approximately what year is this. And they'll say, oh, might be the 1400s, or it may be this, or, and what is your house like? Well, it has a dirt floor
Hmm.
and it's made of pieces of wood and clay and thatched roof. And so the client is the one with all the memories. I'm only the guide.
Oh my goodness,
I'm
that's
only the guide.
fascinating. Thank you for sharing that. All right, we still got 5 more minutes in your show, sweetheart. We got plenty more time. What else do you want to make sure we cover for today?
The best part about past life regression is that we can learn in our soul's journey what we were lessons in that lifetime
Okay.
that will help us this lifetime. And one woman, she looked at her relationships. I guide her to go to a very difficult time in that life. Go to another challenging time. Go to a happy time in that life. What was it about that life that made you happy? And what she learned was her relationships with men in that lifetime were she was not the kind one. And she said, so as then we do a life review after she comes out of the trance, comes back from that lifetime. And she said, I want to treat men differently in this life. I want to do things differently.
Wow.
And she said this totally changed her relationship with her husband because she did not want to repeat the pattern that she had seen and reported in that previous lifetime. So the spiritual growth, the joy that recovering a past life can bring to us is profound, and it's fun, and it's amazing.
Well, I love hearing the stories, the journeys, the testimonials. I know we've talked about some other clients, and I just want people to realize that clearly there's many success stories. We're talking with Joyful Life Hypnotherapy, and I know you have like a YouTube channel where you have some of your clients there speaking about working with you, and even let me just pull up a few. I know we touch upon some of these at times, but here's someone who puts, let me just say, Rosemary's compassionate understanding. She has a great deal of knowledge and provides excellent solutions to the areas that I can improve on in my life and well being. I'm extremely grateful for the time we spent together. Thank you for your guidance. This person says that you, Rosemary Powell, were very inspiring and supportive. You gave her tools that she never had. Not only did this leave her refreshed, but gave her a new look to life. And really, you helped people going through this emotional distress, as she says. And there's, still more to that. And she really urges you all to reach out to Rosemary because she's there to help. You help someone, with anxiety, with overwhelm, with insomnia. There's early life traumas. People, there's a lot that you're able to do, and it's proven and it works. And, we wouldn't be here if it didn't. And you wouldn't be so successful with what you're doing. And, overall, it's got to be a good feeling. How does it feel when you're done helping someone, right? You go through the sessions and they come to thank you. That's got to be so heartwarming.
And it's way before the Google review, even though those are wonderful and they help share with other people the kind of work I do. But even as a client comes out of trance for the first time, because many people arrive a little bit anxious. I don't know if I can be hypnotized, and I don't know if this will really help me, or I don't even know if I was hypnotized. And a gentleman just lately saw me for insomnia. He hadn't slept in 2 nights. And
Wow.
so we discovered things together, and I guided him into a very deep, relaxing trance. I gave him actually 3 recordings at his first session. And I said, he's retired. I said, listen to these once a day each. And the next morning he texted me and he said, thank you. And I could tell, he said, I'm not sure if I was really hypnotized. I think I was just kind of relaxed. And I said, yeah, well, was all the self-talk quiet? And he says, yeah. And I said, you were in trance. And I could tell your feet were twitching a little. And he walked out of the office and then he turned around and walked back in and he said, I
Ah,
feel way better than when I first got here. So it's joyful with every moment that a
yeah.
client sees improvement.
Well, thank you for that. And also, let's point out, to work with you. By the way, you're also over how many years? But you were an RN as well. We didn't, not
I
every
was a
show we go.
registered nurse for 47 years.
Yeah, you've been connected to helping people for so long. And
So
what even
long.
started this love and this passion, by the way?
Well, when I was in high school, I go, well, if I go to college, I need to have a job when I'm out. So at the time, it was kind of school teachers or nurses back in the 70s. So that's when that started. But I did always have a great love for helping people and helping them feel better. And so I was a school nurse for 27 years, elementary and high school. And this helps me work with young people. It's amazing. We can help with nightmare help, with social anxiety, with sleep problems. And then just the happier people feel, the happier I feel. And don't we feel good in our heart when we help someone else with their life? And me giving them the tools. I say to my clients, I don't want to see you for years and years. I want to see you for several or a few sessions and run into you in town and see how well you're doing and how big your smile is. That's my
Ah,
goal.
absolutely. Wow. Thank you so much. Again, joyfullifehypnotherapy.com. That's the website. How else can we reach out to you to book a session?
My cell phone number is 661-238-9154.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. In closing today, how did you want to leave off, Rosemary?
Every one of us can feel better, more joyful, and have a baseline emotion of inner peace when we get the tools.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your day and looking forward to speaking with you again next week. Always a pleasure having you here. And thank you so much. And again, don't forget, just recognized as #1 top mental health provider in Talachapi. So this is pretty exciting news. She's got nominated and won. So clearly you're working with someone who's being recognized. And even though she's humble and modest, it's a great honor because that means you're one of the top hypnotherapists in California. So thank you for being here again, and we'll talk
Thank you,
next week.
Jill.
You're welcome, sweetheart. Enjoy the day.
This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.